Hi, boys and girls. So, today is a kind of a special day. We have something cool that's visiting us. What is this object? A pumpkin, you say? It sure is. So, the first thing we're going to talk about today is what does a pumpkin look like? What does it smell like? Those are the first two questions we're going to ask, okay? Then we're going to ask, how does it feel? So, we're talking about our senses this week. So our first one is our vision, what we see, our smell, our feeling. We're probably not going to taste it today, although we can talk about what it tastes like. And then what does it sound like? So we're going to talk about those things. Those are the things that we explore when we describe something or tell about something. So the first thing we're going to look at is what does it look like? Let me see here. Bring the pumpkin over. Okay. It's going to do a little twirl in front of you. So you can tell me what it looks like here in just a minute. And I've already made a couple slices on the top because we're going to look inside of it. So first we'll talk about the outside. Okay, so you also in your packs have a little pumpkin, not quite as big. Didn't have that many big pumpkins to send. So you're going to tell me about your pumpkin. You're also going to have an observation sheet in your packet that you're going to write some observations on it. It says day 1. Mine's just going to be this blank board here. So, what does the pumpkin look like? Okay, so the pumpkin is what color? Orange. So I'm going to write orange on my observation sheet. What about this? What's that called? A stem? Yeah. So the stem is brownish. Sometimes they look greenish. This one looks more brown. How about how does it feel? Feel your pumpkin. The outside feels very smooth. No, that's not it. Bumpy, kind of bumpy. So tell your families at home some more words that you can think of to describe this. Some might say that there are lines on it. I'll give you just a minute to give your families some more descriptions. You might want to smell it. What does it smell like? I want to see what you say it smells like. It smells like a pumpkin to me. That's not very descriptive. But it does smell like pumpkin. It smells like pumpkin pie. Put that. I think it smells like pumpkin pie. If you've ever eaten pumpkin pie, you know what that smells like. So that's the outside of the pumpkin. You might have some more. I can't wait to see. So let's look. Oh no. Yeah. Woo! It made an icky sticky mess. This is the inside of the pumpkin. Now your little pumpkin, we won't be doing this with. But you can look at the inside of mine. Have you ever cut a pumpkin and got the things out of the inside? What is that? How do you think that feels? You have a regular pumpkin at home, a big pumpkin, and you've tried it, then you probably can tell us a lot about how it feels. Slimy, maybe? How about wet? Um, what does it look like? It's a lighter orange. It's not as dark. It has seeds inside of it. Hmm. Wet, slimy, lighter. It has seeds. Ooey gooey. All kinds of fun things. So that's our first chart for the day. Now I'm going to marker to the side. You can write that on your observation sheet. You need to, you can pause. And now I'm going to my tray. I want you to be able to see how we can do this here. I might have to adjust for a minute here. Okay, so we have that. When you have a pumpkin, a lot of times you take the stuff out of the inside, and sometimes you have special tools to do that with. So I'm gonna scrape stuff. What kinds of things can you do with a pumpkin? You can make food with it. Pumpkin pies, pumpkin rolls. You can make a jack-o'-lantern out of it for a decoration. Have you ever made a jack-o'-lantern? How do you make a jack-o'-lantern? You have to give it a face, don't you? You can give it a happy face. You can give it a sad face, a scary face. I've seen some really spooky ones. You can give it a silly face. I usually make silly faces because, well, sometimes I don't carve it the best and it always ends up a little goofy. But that's okay. Sometimes people use patterns or they just do it without a pattern and they make pretty pictures on it. Like last year, my nephew made a kitty cat on his. If I made a kitty cat, it would look a little wonky and crazy, but that's okay too. Because they're jack-o'-lantern. They're pumpkins. They're supposed to be a little fun. So, oof, this is heavy. We didn't say that. It feels heavy. So you can see inside of my pumpkin, there are lots of seeds and lots of gunk. So what we do is we reach down in there and we get it all out. So hopefully you're going to get to do that. So I'm going to put my hand in. I'm going to pull it out. And it makes my hand really messy. But what I'm going to do, and I'll probably pause the camera, turn it off here in a minute, and separate the seeds from the gunk. Because we have lots of fun activities to do with the seeds. So we can count the seeds. We can make letters with the seeds. We can cook the seeds and eat them if we want to. So that's the first thing we're going to do with our pumpkin today is we're going to take everything out of it. And I will show you what it looks like. Nice and cleaned out. So if you're watching at home, be making that chart and talking about everything about a pumpkin, what it smells like, what it might taste like, because we haven't tasted it yet, what it looks like. It's pretty hollow inside. Make that little noise on it like a little drum. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little science experiment with your little pumpkins, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, since we've described our pumpkin, and I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and finish cleaning it out. And I will see you in just a minute for our science experiment. So you'll need your little pumpkin and a bowl of water, okay? So if you're watching, you can go ahead and get that ready. I'll see you in a minute.